Okay, so I basically wanted to do a video on the Trayvon Martin case, my reaction. So this is the reaction video. This is not to be one-sided or anything. This is just how I feel, my personal feelings towards the case. So while I've been watching the trial since pretty much day one. I mean, this is not nothing new as far as being black. These are cases that always happen. This is just a racial profile case that has made it to the media, and I mean, of course, of how it all began by Trayvon just walking to the store and not being able to return to watch the game that he was watching. So basically, yesterday was the verdict. I was watching that show, Pregnant and Dating. That's what I was watching. And I kept flicking back and forth because I seen the time clock, kept going. And like when you watch HLN, they keep talking about the same stuff, which is important, but I'm not going to continue to sit there and watch it. So I pretty much was flicking back and forth. And then my mom just called. She called me, and then she was like, the verdict is in. The verdict is in. So I was like, okay. So I, flicked over to go to that channel. And as I seen like the judge, approaching the bench and the jurors coming out from deliberating, my heart just got the pounding. I'm just like, Lord, like, if there's any hope out there, for justice, like, then he would get some kind of time, like something, like he would serve some kind of time for taking this young man's life. And when the verdict said not guilty, I was still sitting there like, okay. And then it said on all counts. I'm like, are you serious? This man is getting away with murdering a child, and by him having that smirk on his face, like, it made me so upset. Like, me personally, I want to smack the shit out of him through the camera. Like, through what I was watching, I wanted to smack him. But, I mean, it was just a reaction. I mean, at the end of the day, like, we will get through it. But, I mean, it's just hard to know, like, when it's dealing with a homicide and when somebody is dead, it's only one story. Or I should say not one story, but one side. And the person who could have told was not here to tell his side of the story. And I'm not going to lie, like, the prosecutors did not do as good of a job as the defense team. And that's true. I mean, when, what's her name? Rachel Chantel, when she went on, I believe that's her name, when she went on there and, did her testimony, they made her look ignorant, which she's not. I mean, that's not her first language. She's from Haiti. So when I think his name John West or Don West, if I'm not mistaken, but he pretty much was like, the second day, did someone talk to you about your attitude? I just feel like, I mean, obviously her attitude has changed. Maybe she watched that video and was like, watched it at night, like, was I really, acting in that manner? Like, I could be more respectful. But I feel like he crossed the line when he asked her, it's kind of like, even with his daughters, like, we're happy we got through all this foolishness or whatever the picture was on Twitter, and he even made a joke about it yesterday. Like, I don't think anything is funny about that because it's disrespectful. A lot of people, we already get discouraged on how black people dress and black people so hostile and all of this other stuff. And then I was watching the video on Dr. Drew, the debate, and Miss Ali just snapped. Just like snapped. Like, she said, "You white people," and da 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 da. She just snapped. And they were talking about how, about, you know, like slavery, and how Abraham Lincoln got us out of slavery, which he didn't, which people need to go to college or go to school and read the history. He helped, but he did not do it. So I'm not even gonna go all into that, but people pretty much, my reaction at the end of the day was, I was shocked. I was lost for words. I didn't know. I couldn't, like, being in that predicament. I mean, I have 2 little brothers myself, so that could have been my little brother. So it kind of brought, like, tears to my eyes, and I was just like, Lord, what is this world coming to? But I mean, at the end of the day, I said, one person seeing everything for sure know the truth, and that's the man upstairs. And at the end of the day, George Zimmerman is going to have to face him one day, and he's going to get dealt with. I mean, you kill somebody, so whether it's self-defense or not, it's still going to hunt you. You're still going to have flashbacks or whatnot. Like, but the thing is, like, does this mean that every black boy or going down the street is, if it get killed, oh, it's just you in the wrong place at the wrong time, like that kind of thing? Because that's how I looked at this case. Because how can I just walk to the store and I get killed and somebody just walk away? That's just how I look at it. Like, how can you claim self-defense when you drove in your car, you chased this boy down the street and was walking with him, and who knows, when you saying slender racial remarks over the phone, who knows if he said something and Trayvon turned around like, what's good, you know? And that's probably why, I mean, that's probably why his head the way it was. He probably was beating the fuck out of him. I'm just being real. Like, I'm not trying to like, you know, sugarcoat anything, because he's of my own race, but I know how it is being black, and I know how it is having racial remarks to you. I mean, I go to a school majority Caucasians, and I let a lot of stuff just slide, but once it take you there, I try to not act out of character at all whatsoever. So I know, like, with this case, it made a lot of people, you know, act out of character. And, like, one thing, when I did get the verdict, my father had texted me and was like, do not go on any social medias and be all ignorant and stuff, because that's what a lot of people they looking for, the younger, you know, the younger generation reactions, because Trayvon is only a year younger than me, so they want to know how our reactions is. And everybody said this is America, KKK, and all this other stuff. I mean, me personally, this is my opinion. I feel like we as blacks, like, I wouldn't say all white people, but a lot of people don't want to see us succeed. A lot of people want to continue to downgrade us. A lot of people want to keep our men in jail. And I mean, at the end of the day, it is some choices that ones make. But I mean, being a criminal justice major and taking my criminal law courses and looking at the cases, this case where this young man, I think he was 15 or 16, and he was walking to it was like he was going somewhere, basically, and he was at the wrong place at the wrong time, and this white man wife was killed in front of him, and all he said was, based off of the, you know, like the description of the male, was big blitz, black, ugly. And they seen this young boy just walking and basically took him in the woods and, you know, traumatized him and made him confess, would not let him leave his presence. These are detectives. Made him confess that he did it. Made him sign a paper that he didn't even know he had to sign. He thinking he's gonna go home. And this boy was locked up, wrongly convicted for a crime that he did not commit. And someone was in jail, knew about it, and actually committed the crime, and then it got back to him after he served, you know, so many years. And it's just crazy because at the time, who was it? The prosecutors knew who it was, but they couldn't say because it would have costed them their job. I mean, it's just this whole stuff with morals, and I mean, me personally, I'm not gonna take someone's life at the cost of my job. Somebody else will hire me. That's just how I personally feel. Someone else will hire me. So it's just a lot with race and all of this other stuff, which they said they didn't touch on the proof of guilt or stand your ground law or racism, which all three needed to be talked about in a case, especially with the race, because he made those slanderous remarks while walking, because he obviously has something against African American males or just African Americans. But at the same time, it's not just a white and black issue. It's just race altogether. It doesn't matter what color you are. Hispanics have it bad just as blacks as well. People need to learn their history. It's not just blacks and whites. It's not at all. So, I mean, at the end of the day, Trayvon Martin will not be forgotten whatsoever. I mean, this case is probably going to go on to be talked about. Hopefully, it's in some books, you know, some history books in the future about this big controversy with this case. I mean, I just feel like Zimmerman should have got something. Like, he just got away with doing it. And who knows what he have in the back of his hand. Like, yeah, I got away with killing. You know, I mean, I don't want to go there. But, I mean, at the end of the day, look at how his intentions was and how he's just walking away. And he's getting away with it. And everybody know, it don't matter what color you are. If it was a different person dead, color-wise, and it was black or Hispanic, they would be in jail, no questions asked. They ain't even gonna say, they ain't even gonna look into it if it really was self-defense. So, I don't know, that's just my reactions. I'm just lost for words. I mean, I just try to tell the younger generation, like, don't go into all that ignorance and it's gonna be riots and all this and that, because what more black people gonna get arrested just for doing stuff like that? I mean, you could do it right, but do it peaceful. You don't have to be, oh, he gonna get popped when he hit. Like, you don't have to do all of that. So that's just, I mean, we need to educate our younger generation, which I'm young too, so I'm still getting educated. I'm not perfect, but I know ignorance when I see it. So, those are my reactions to this case, and I just feel like I needed to share. I don't know if any younger students or younger individuals are on here sharing their opinion about it, but I just feel like I needed to talk about it and share my views on, or my opinions and reactions on the case. So I will just see you in my next video. Thank you.